But let me go ahead and just get started and just kind of orient you a little bit about how I got to the point to where I ended up opening 77 offices in 20 states, seeing over 35,000 new patients a year, and how all that happened, and how I got to training chiropractors, and how I learned it all, and how how it ended up being in consulting. It's kind of interesting what happened, and maybe you can relate to this story. I got into chiropractic when I was 15 years old. I had an injury. I was cleaning out the pool. I was lifeguarding that summer, and so we were cleaning out the pool for the summer, and I slipped on my tail. And I couldn't sit down. I had pain, and I did what everybody does. I went to the doctor, and they gave me pain pills and muscle relaxers and had me sit on an inner tube. So I'm 15 years old, sitting on an inner tube, lifeguarding for the summer, and I'm not getting any better. And I remember I lived in a small town of 3,000, and I remember passing this office and the word chiropractor, and I remember asking my mom what that was, because I'd never heard of that word before, chiropractor. And I just remember her saying he was the type of doctor that worked with muscles and bones. That's mainly what I remember. And then what I do remember is I wasn't getting any better. So I had this problem. I couldn't sit down. I'm 15 years old without there being pain. And that's a major discomfort in life. So I asked if she would take me there. So she took me to the chiropractor. And I go into the office, and he was an older man. He was probably in his 70s, early 70s, and no patient education. All I still remember that roller table. I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. I dozed off on the roller table. I thought that was just fantastic. And then he put me on a table, what I now know to be a Thompson table. At that time, I had no idea. You stand on a table, and it slowly goes down. You never experience that in a doctor's office. And then the little drop pieces that dropped, and his hands is on my back and pelvis, and I had no idea what he was doing, and he didn't explain it very well. So I get up, and then didn't feel any better, and he said, "Well, come back in a couple days." So I come back in a couple days, and same thing, treatment. Got up, no better. Says come back in a couple days, so I come back in a couple days. And then on the third treatment, this was about a 5-day period, and the third treatment in a 5-day period, after 3 months of pain, after I got off the table, that third treatment, I was totally pain-free. I'm not partial. I mean, it was gone. I did not have that pain at all, and it did not come back. And so it had a tremendous impact, that something I'd never known of. And how could this guy just with his hands on my spine, create such change? And I guess part of the impact was that I wasn't taught any of that. So it was so unusual, had a tremendous impact in my life. And so I had a personal, emotional experience with chiropractic. And then I was in sports. I played all the sports, baseball, football, and basketball, all through, high school, junior high and high school. And I injured and so I would get care. If I got an injury, I'd go to the chiropractor. In my junior year, and I really liked healthcare, but I didn't know exactly but I didn't like dealing with blood either. So I knew I liked taking care of people and helping people and healthcare. I knew that was the interest where I was, but I didn't like blood. And so when I did the research paper on chiropractic, my mind was kind of thinking about that, and I really did it to learn more about it. And after I did that research project, I decided that that's when I was going to be a chiropractor. So I knew I was going to be a chiropractor since 15 years old, through that personal experience.